Alright, Kamisato Ayato quick guide. Let's just get right into it. Let's start with weapons. So Ayato doesn't have many options when it comes to weapons. His signature is obviously his best, as it gives elemental damage bonus and a massive normal attack buff on top of an already very strong 33.1% crit rate ascension stat. But if you're not pulling for his signature, then Jade Cutter is his second best option if it's already on your account. It has a very high 44.1% crit rate ascension stat alongside an unconditional attack buff based on his HP, which are two stats that Ayato wants. However, not everyone will have these, so Ayato's strongest 4-star weapons is the Black Sword, a battle pass weapon. Despite it locked behind a paywall, the Black Sword's 27.6% crit rate ascension stat, 20% increase in normal and charge attacks, and a tiny bit of healing all makes this sword his strongest 4-star. As for the free-to-play players, Lion's Roar is very strong. This is the weapon most people will use. Its attack percent ascension stat is nice, but the big damage bonus passive is what makes it very strong. If you have none of those 4 stars, then Harbinger of Dawn is actually surprisingly strong, but make sure it's R5. The crit that it provides can be extremely useful. However, staying above 90% HP can be difficult in most situations. Moving on to his artifact sets, these are a lot more simpler than his weapons. The artifact set that will give you the most damage is Echoes of an Offering. However, this is only recommended for people who already have great Echoes pieces and have low ping, also who are a little lucky with its RNG. But besides that, Ayato's universal artifact sets will be 4-piece Gladiators and 4-piece Heart of Depth. These perform about equally and are very slightly below Echoes. However, you most likely have way better stats on these sets, so building him with either Heart of Depth or Gladiators will be best. A more niche freeze build could utilize Blizzard Strayer, but Ayato is so universal that it's not the best to solely build him for one team comp. Regardless, in freeze, this set can perform slightly better than the others. As for Ayato's artifact Mainstats and Substats, he wants the standard DPS build, an attack percent Sands, Hydro damage percent Goblet, and a crit circlet. Energy recharge sands can be used if you're having ER issues, but it hurts his damage quite a bit. For his substats, he wants ER until you no longer have issues, then crit, and a little attack. Although his kit does utilize HP for some more damage, it's practically negligible and should be ignored over more attack and crit rolls. Alright, now on to Ayato's ideal team comps. So he is very universal and can be pretty much played anywhere, but a couple strong options would be firstly Freeze, especially with Ganyu and Venti. Ayato has amazing Hydro application and can consistently apply Hydro on field and off, albeit less reliably, but when paired with Ganyu's off-field Icicles and Venti's grouping, this freeze comp proves to be one of his strongest, specifically Ayato, Ganyu, Venti, and Diona, mainly because Ganyu's gonna have ER issues. Aside from that, Ayato Vape is very strong, especially when paired with Bennett and Zhongling. For the 4th slot, an Animo unit is preferred, and although Kazuha is strong and provides good grouping, swirling both Hydro and Pyro is less reliable, so Sucrose will most often be better. Then there's all the Dendro related reactions like Hyper Bloom, Burgeon, Nilu Bloom. Ayato in all these teams provides enough Hydro application in both single target and multi-target. His best Hyper Bloom team is Ayato, Nahida, EM Raiden, and Kokomi, although there's a ton of combinations. This is the same for Burgeon. My personal favorite comp is Ayato, Nahida, Kazuha, and Bennett, where Kazuha absorbs Pyro and triggers the reactions. Ayato can also slot into Electrocharge with his fast Hydro application. He works best when paired with off-field Electro units like Fischl, Beta, or Yaimiko, and then an Animo unit. He can actually use the Thundering Fury set pretty reliably here, and can have almost 100% uptime on his skill, making it pretty fun. And then the last team comp is Hyper Carry. So he is strong enough to perform decently well in this team comp. His best hyper carry team would be Ayato, Yunjin, Bennett, and Kazuha. Now for Constellations. They're pretty straightforward. They're all just straight damage boosts. None of them change his playstyle. C1 increases damage against lower health enemies. C2 increases skill stacks. C4 increases normal attack speed. And then C6 just makes him do more slashes right after casting his skill. But that's it for the Ayato quick guide. Ayato is both one of the strongest and most fun characters that I've ever pulled for in this game. He no diffs child.